He's got one of the fixed bench presses, which is an IPF, an International Powerlifting Federation spec'd bench press. So it's a good sized bench, and the full squat cage and a deadlifting platform, all in like his kitchen/dining area.
It's like in his house.
So I think his wife's like in the kitchen making sandwiches for like her son, and he's like squatting
out
2 meters away, benching with his bench shirt on.
Yeah,
it's great.
That's awesome.
And he was also doing French, and he didn't do his homework. And as a matter of fact, I think like only maybe 3 kids had done their homework that day.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, you're all gonna get recess detention," and he just like stood up. He's like, "You can't give us all detention."
She started a revolt.
Yeah, it didn't work. 17 of us had to stay at recess and do our homework. But he's like, "What are you gonna do? You're gonna keep us all here?" And she's like, "Yes."
That's a baller move, though.
It was.
Right?
It was like 8 or 9. He was only like 13 or 14. So basically, I asked him, "Is there any way that I can sort of like biohack it so that my body's recovering more?" He's like, "First of all, don't like to call it biohacking because you're not hacking your biology. You're just doing what your biology can do.
You're just optimizing.
Yes, optimizing, right."
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Big Flex.
Yes.
Yeah, I got
We're
one.
back.
I got one.
We're back.
I got the crowd instead of the crickets this time.
That's right.
We're back again.
Welcome. And before we start, let's just kick things off by saying, if you haven't already, please subscribe. Like and subscribe. Help the channel grow so we can keep doing these podcasts that we enjoy so much doing.
Tell your friends.
Please. So, what are we flexing on today, Adrian?
What are we flexing on today? Well, the first thing that we're flexing on is that he is flexing and he needs a name.
Yes, we have had some comments, and by he, for those that are just listening, because remember, this podcast, guys, is not only available on YouTube in video format.
Where else is it available now?
It's available anywhere that you want to get audio podcasts from. So you got your Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and then all the other ones.
And what do they say? It's on, they say Spotify, Apple Play, Google Play.
Play, Apple Podcasts.
Oh, what's the tagline they always use? And anywhere else you get good podcasts from.
That's right.
They always say good podcasts. Know where you get your bad ones from.
Yeah. So
and anywhere else you get good podcasts.
This is a good one.
Yeah.
And it's available at all the places that you get good podcasts from.
Yeah.
But please subscribe on YouTube. It help the channel grow, which we've done really well so far. It's gone up from 40 something to 84 subscribers now. It's almost double, which is pretty cool.
I like that you're on Spotify. Actually, I went through and listened to all of your old podcasts just driving around. That was handy because like I see you all the time. I don't want to watch you any more than I have to. But it was good. It was good to have it just playing in the car while I was driving.
Were you just making your way downtown?
Driving fast. Yeah, I was. Making my way. Yeah. That was actually really good. I think out of all of your podcasts, all of the ones that you've done so far, and these are the what are they called? The professional ones. It's just the Strength Institute podcast, right?
Yeah, the Strength Institute podcast.
Out of all of the ones that you've done so far, I like the sleep one.
That is the most popular by minutes watched.
Yeah? It's most interesting, I find. It's just really interesting.
Dr. Ian Duncan knows his stuff. And as a matter of fact, I actually just recorded another podcast with him yesterday via Zoom and edited that up. That's coming out this week, but it's not going to be on the Strength Institute podcast. It's going to be on the Running a Marathon podcast miniseries because he not only is a PhD sleep scientist, he also has run over 20 ultra marathons and like a dozen normal marathons. So I was picking his brain about endurance training and everything like that, which was again pretty interesting. Also, he told me off for calling it biohack. I was like, because I remember in the initial podcast, I don't know if you remember, but he was basically saying if you want to get some PBs in the gym, a great time to do it is sort of around like 5 p.m. because your body naturally on its cycle is quite awake then. Yeah. Probably from hundreds of thousands of years of evolution of having to be awake at nighttime, just before nighttime, so you didn't get eaten by giant cats in the wilderness.
Set up camp and hide.
That's right. Yeah. And so he said, it's a great time to do weights. And I was like, well, is it also a good time to run? And he had said that in that previous podcast that basically different parts of your sleep cycle repair different parts of your body. So like, I can't remember because it was quite a while ago, but I think like deep sleep, you might recover your body more, and then like cognitive repair happens during different parts of your REM cycle. I do remember
him saying that, yeah.
So basically I asked him, is there any way that I can sort of like biohack it so that my body's recovering more? He's like, first of all, don't like to call it biohacking because you're not hacking your biology. You're just doing what your biology can do.
You're just optimizing.
Yes, optimizing, right. So that's pretty interesting. So that comes out this week. Listen to that because he also drops a couple more very useful hints, especially on supplementation for getting better sleep in terms of zinc, magnesium, iron supplementation, stuff like that.
Awesome.
You know how you were talking about testosterone potentially lowering for endurance athletes?
Yeah.
Iron also drops. You just can't absorb iron as well, endurance athletes.
Okay.
And he said that actually the best way to supplement that is to do it on the off swing of your training. So if you train consistently in the evenings, is to supplement your iron in the mornings. So I'm going to start pumping up the iron in the mornings.
300 grams of Scotch fillet steak for breakfast.
I'm just going to, blend up some beets and put it in my omelet. Purple omelets.
That's actually really interesting. Well, it's good that's the around 5 o'clock is when you're at the most optimal level for strength, because that's when I do my strength training. At the moment, it's like 4 o'clock. 5 o'clock.
And that's the thing where I was running in the morning and the evenings. And I was like, I felt more accomplished training in the morning because I had the whole day ahead of me and I felt good. I had that, the endorphins, and I felt good the whole day. But I actually run a little faster in the late afternoons and evenings. So I've now switched all my training to the other side.
I used to train 6 a.m. for quite a while, and doing all my weight training then, it was good because you just feel amazing. It's really good while I was at uni. You just switched on, you feel good, you're happy, everything feels amazing, especially when it's cold, you're warm after that, everything just feels nice. But I've never been as strong as when I train in the afternoon. It's just easier. Doesn't matter what type of day, rain, hail, or shine, it's just always better in the afternoon.
Yeah. Well, I mean, your body's had more time to just fuel and be awake and be ready to sling some weights. Slinging some weights.
Slinging around.
Yeah. But actually, we've diverged. This whole started off with the gnome.
The gnome name. Okay, yeah. So, what should we... The question to our 84 subscribers now.
And this was... For the people that were listening, that's how this whole thing got sidetracked.
Yeah.
There is a gnome here, and he's squatting. Actually... And he's pretty jacked. He's got 5 plates each side. So, if they're 20-kilo plates, he's doing a good...
Where did you get that from?
This was a pair of my lovely clients, a husband-wife team. A husband-wife team, Bavik and Kalpana, and their 2 adorable kids gave that to me at my 1-year anniversary / Christmas party.
Such a good present. Okay, so that's awesome. 2, has anyone who watches our podcast noticed that he is hidden in almost all of the videos, the exercise videos we've been releasing? If you have, comment below. If you haven't, look for them in the other workout videos, because we've very carefully hidden him without saying anything about it in a few of the workout videos we've been doing, which has been kind of fun.
Just about like 90% of our workout videos he's in.
I think we didn't do it in the first few mobility ones.
And the hangs, I think.
Yeah, and then he started being incorporated into just hiding in the background and stuff.
The people did notice. My own mum didn't even notice, I think, because I had told Kezia about it, and then she was doing a workshop with mum, and then she had told mum. They went back and were looking through all the old videos trying to find him. Yeah, but we need a name for him.
Okay, so what is the gnome's name? The name for the gnome?
Now, we could chuck out a couple of options here, but we could also put it out to the people that to leave a comment. Unfortunately, not everyone leaves a comment. You know what? I feel like a few people would leave maybe some inappropriate comments. I feel like Megan, if she's listening, would probably leave an inappropriate comment.
Hey man, freedom of speech is a thing. But if you're too inappropriate, you just get blocked.
Yeah. So all right, everybody leave a comment on what you think this powerlifting squatting gnome should be called.
I can't think of any good gnome puns at the moment. Like good names, also silly names, just whatever. What do you got for us? Gnome names. Throw some out right now. See if they're any good. Jackie the Jacked, something like that. I don't know. He is pretty jacked. He's pretty swollen.
He's pretty swole. I don't know. Off the cuff, I'd have to have a think about it.
No. We'll think about it. We'll come back next week. Yeah, let us know. Let us know what you think. Let us know what we should name him. And also, if you haven't found him in any of the other workout videos, go have a look. See if you can find him. So he definitely deserves a little more of the spotlight.
Yeah, absolutely. We didn't touch on this last podcast because my marathon training sort of hijacked a good portion of it. Mm-hmm. Italian.
Yeah. I was learning Italian. I'm still learning Italian. We had some problems with the app that we were using, which was really frustrating. We couldn't use it. And then Sarah went to work this morning, and I was having a look at it this morning, seeing if it was fixed, and it is. So It's pretty exciting. I know. We just didn't get anything back from the support team.
It was Rosetta Stone?
Yeah. They were away, and it said something on their side along the lines of there's no one in the office. So things are going to take a little bit longer, which kind of sucked. But it's all fixed now. So, yeah, I've did a half an hour lesson this morning.
All right. So, because you guys were pretty strict for the first sort of 2 weeks, and then you're having some technical issues?
Half an hour, 5 days a week. So we were doing it as the recommendation of the program we were using, and it was all going pretty well.
Yeah. Well, I wanted you to come in and actually just start busting out some Italian sentences. It's not like that, Nevin. It's like you learn things like female and male and colours and big and identifying things.
Just doing sentences now. So all I've learned for the time being is la bambina beve, which is like the girl drinks, or what was the other one? What's the car?
Can you say the boy?
The car. Yeah, il bambino beve is...
Il bambino?
The il bambino. The boy beve is drinks. Or il bambino mangia, which is the boy eats, something like that. Or like the macchina è bianco, which is like the car is white. Stuff like that. So it's like identification of it's really basic stuff to start with, like reading or eating or running. Really basic stuff. And it's identifying the masculine and feminine versions of the words and things. It's super basic, so barely stringing sentences together. But it's actually a really good app. I like it so far, the Rosetta Stone thing. It's basic, and it doesn't really explain much. It just kind of like throws you in, and then you figure it out as you go. So I think after doing the course that we're doing, that we'll have to go in and do a little bit more of the like learning the rules and stuff. I don't go over that stuff where I'm like, I know I'm saying it, but I don't know why, or like what the rules to the words are. English is a really hard, complicated language. So when you go to learn simpler languages, it's difficult, I think, to learn because it doesn't, like, English doesn't make sense anymore. There's so many different, there's like 5 words for there. Like there. And then you have other languages like Italian, or I learned Portuguese for a while. It's so simple. It's so much simpler than English is. English is a silly language.
Okay.
It's way too complicated.
I remember when I was at school, I did French for a couple of years, to pick French, Japanese at my school. And I just, I didn't like that there was a masculine version, a feminine version, and then there's like a formal and informal as well, which is,
yeah.
I'm not sure about all this.
It's like that with most other languages.
Yeah, I know.
And it's way simpler.
You think?
Way simpler,
okay.
yeah. It's a lot easier to learn. It's why English is so hard to learn in comparison to other languages, because there are so many more rules and things like that. It's
like silent G's in front of gnomes.
In front of gnomes, but no other languages have words that sound similar that mean different things. They just have different words that mean different things.
Well, that would make sense.
Yeah, and there's a lot of different, there's a lot of finesse in the English language where you can really describe the crap out of something. Whereas in other languages, you just it's not that complicated. You don't have to go to all that effort. My roommate is French, and she was saying that the English language is hard because you're talking about a thing, and you say the thing, and you start talking about it. You don't need to say I am talking about a table. It's inferred in the language. It's just much simpler to speak. So she sometimes gets frustrated with the English language because you're you said all this useless crap before you told me about the thing you were talking about. I'm just wasting time over here. So it's kind of, apparently English is just much harder. Because it's much more complicated.
All right.
Yeah, it's interesting stuff.
Very interesting.
Yeah. Have you learned any other languages other than that in school?
I learnt a very little bit of French in school.
Yeah.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Nevin.
Yeah.
J'habite Australia. À la plage.
Did you remember quite a bit from high school?
To the beach. I mean, yeah, some stuff. Not really. It wasn't. Actually, this funny moment. We had she at the time she seemed quite strict. Our French teacher.
Yeah.
I can't remember her name. And one of my good friends, Pras, who I actually have known since I was 4th grade, so 9 years old, 8 or 9 years old, and he was also doing French, and he didn't do his homework, and as a matter of fact, I think only maybe 3 kids had done their homework that day.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, you're all going to get recess detention," and he just stood up. He's like, "You can't give us all detention. It's not."
She started a revolt.
Yeah, it didn't work. 17 of us had to stay at recess and do our homework. But he's like, "What are you going to do? You're going to keep us all here?" And she's like, "Yes."
That's a baller move, though.
It was.
Right?
It was 8 or 9. He was only 13 or 14.
So
he was trying to start. Yeah, it didn't work at all. We all had to stay there for recess and do our homework.
Well, that's unfortunately how authority really works, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
So it's been good. Been good. We're going to get back into it and start doing
Awesome.
it 5 times a week again.
And you said your partner's got work again, which is fantastic.
Yeah, she's working. She's got work until December so far. She's working full time, which is pretty awesome. So things are looking up.
And I think hopefully things will be looking up for the gym soon as well. I mean, we had like 4 or 5 days in a row, no new cases in WA, and basically all of our things coming from the ship.
Apparently, WA is one of the best places to be in the world. So hopefully, we'll see some restrictions lifted here before other places, which will be really nice.
It'll be really nice. I can't wait to get everyone back in here.
Speaking of the gym, it is looking very different lately. We have done some things and moved some stuff. You've got some new equipment in. It's looking nice.
Some things and some stuff has been happening for sure. So I took this opportunity of basically every gym equipment store in Australia. And I wonder if it's like this in other countries too. I know I've got some US listeners, if it's the same there, but basically everything sold out completely of everything.
Yeah,
so you just couldn't get any weights, any dumbbells, nothing. It was all sold out. And I had some excess plate weights, some 25 kilo plate weights bumpers that I had bought when I did the original fit out of the gym. And because I hadn't fit out a gym before, I was like, oh, I need these here and here. And I was like, just like layout wise, I didn't need that much. So I over ordered on a bunch of plates and I could not sell them for what I paid for them. I couldn't sell them for, a lot less than what I paid for them. So I took them off the market and just like, I'll just keep them here. And I figured, everyone's looking for some weights. I'll chuck them back up and see if, at a reasonable price. I didn't hike it up. I put them up for what I paid for them.
Yeah.
And they're new, that they're not used. And I sold, I don't know, it was like 18, 25 kilo plates in about 30 minutes. I was like, I should have inflated the price. I didn't because I'm a good guy. But yes, I sold those. I sold the big leg press that was in here. As good as the machine as it wasn't great for a variety of different body shapes. Like if you were short or tall, like you either couldn't fit in it or you couldn't unrack it because it only had one unracking mechanism, which is strange.
You had to do like almost half a rep just to unrack it.
Yeah, and because it was such a nice quality machine, like it was on bearings, like it rolled real smooth. You could load a heap of weight, but the unracking and racking mechanism wasn't good. So I've replaced that. I sold that, and then for the for what I made selling it, I managed to buy another leg press, which I think is going to be a really nice addition. Which is a lot more user friendly, I think.
Looks cool. Well.
Yeah,
I like the look of it.
So that's good. That's new. What else? I've hung up a bunch of the bands, and I was actually telling Paul, he's my neighbor here. He's still working at his own security company next door, and he's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I just drilled this stuff from here." He's like, "Oh, so you moved it from 5 meters from there to there?" I was like, "Yeah, Paul, but it's way more efficient now."
Really nice.
It looks really good.
Well, I'm most excited, I think, about the log, putting the log up.
Yes,
we did speak about that in one of the other. Was that in one of the big flexes?
It was, I believe, our first
one,
either the first or the second Big Flex podcast. We talked about the infamous strongman log made from a down Jarrah telephone pole.
And now it's going up. It's going to be a feature in the gym.
It's going to be like a functional art piece. So basically
usable, but just looks nice instead.
This podcast is already full of shout outs. This is a shout out to Chris Brook Builder, and his son Ed came with their carpenter, actually Ben Taylor, who built the entire bathroom block that's in the gym. Very handy builders, and they came and drilled in some big, I don't know what you call them, like loop bolts or eye bolts. And Kem set them into the wall. And so he said, you can hang like 900 kilos off each one of these. I was like, well, this log's only 85, so that's perfect.
Yep.
And I think today, after the podcast, we might even duck down to Bunnings and buy a couple meters of chain and hang that sucker up.
That'll be cool. I'd like to see that.
So, above on the wall, but
how
above.
Are we going to lift that up?
Well, we'll figure it out. We're fit young men. Yeah. We can figure it out. We're going to, it's going to be basically, hanging on the wall above the, barbell storage and above the deadlifting platform. Yeah. So you can see it from basically everywhere in the gym. It's going to look pretty cool.
It just does.
And you could get really down if you wanted to, but otherwise that's going to be its home.
It doesn't need to come down. As a feature for the gym, it adds to it. It looks real nice up there.
I think it's going to look great. And then like we tidied up the whole strongman area. Just everything has a home now instead of just being sprawled in a big mess.
Yeah, it looks it's functional. Works better. Space works better, and it looks really nice.
It looks nice, and I think the with the strongman equipment, I went on a bit of a I bought a lot more stuff in the lead up to the Australia's Strongest Man and Woman competition, just to make sure that my athlete Megan could get all the training in that she needed to train specifically for the comp. And so like all this equipment kept coming in, and we didn't really have any place to put it with the old layout. But we redesigned that whole back strongman area.
She did use all of it regularly.
Oh yeah, no, it all got used all the time. It was just like all there though. Now it all has a home and everything. Awesome. You can access every bit of equipment without having to move other equipment to get to it. Yeah. Which is extremely handy when you're trying to get heavy things in and out of the gym.
Yeah, no, it does. It looks fantastic. It looks much better now. I like it. I like the more AstroTurf as well. That looks good.
Yeah, put a little bit more AstroTurf down, which is dual. One, it looks nicer, more clean cut, and it frames the deadlifting platform a bit better. But also, it's really hard to vacuum in and around those toaster racks. And so now the AstroTurf is a little bit of a buffer. Like you can't see as much dirt when it comes in. You know.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
Nice.
What else?
So I'm back. Just for those listening, at the moment, the camera that I'm using, Dad very kindly lent me one of his cameras, but it's not like designed as much for video as it is for like still photography. So it has a 20-minute record limit. So every 20 minutes, I jump up and have to like reset it. And we actually went over there, and I was worried that it wasn't going to save the clip. It did save the clip. Speaking of the devil, Dad just walked into the gym. Get out of here! Jeez, he's jumping in the window. So you said that might have been cut off in the last round that you're going back on carnivore diet.
Yeah, man. I'm starting carnivore again. I don't like eating normal people food. I'm not enjoying it. I miss being shredded. I was just jacked before without even trying. It's like magic. It shouldn't be possible that that's the way that it is, but it is. And now I'm not fat. I'm just like normal, and I dislike it.
Well, I mean, we did that hang video, and you still had some abs there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I have an unrealistic expectation of myself now, because I was so lean for so long and it was just easy. It wasn't like I was having to get up at 4 a.m. and do an hour of cardio and have a really restrictive diet. I was just doing normal stuff. My body handles the carnivore diet really well.
Yeah.
And like I still got abs, but I feel like I look different to how other people see that I look.
You look sloppy, man. I was looking at those hang bears. I'm like, you look sloppy. I only can see 6 of those abs.
Because that's the thing. I said in that video, I looked at myself. I was like, you're letting yourself go. And then someone else messaged me like, looking pretty like shredded or lean, or like something about like when I turned around like my back. And I was like, I feel like an obese potato person. And it's definitely not the way that it is, but I just miss being that shredded. It's just easy and nice to look like that with carnivore.
And got a bit of like body dysmorphia,
yeah. I'm thinking that, yeah. It's because I was so lean for so long. It's like, yeah, I just really enjoyed it. So I'm going back to it. I need it.
Cool.
I need it. And also, just in terms of strength, I'm not nearly as strong as I was while I was on the carnivore diet. Just doing my normal strength training now, the weights that I was doing before feels heavy. So there's something about it that it doesn't make sense. It's just magic.
It's just all that protein.
It's magic. That's all it is. It's voodoo magic, and I really enjoy it. So I'm going back to it. Start to afford it now, which is nice. So
cool.
Now that the coronavirus isn't bending me over, I'm back in. I'm starting again next week. So I'm looking forward to the first 2 weeks. It's going to be rough, but I'm really excited about it.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So the first 2 weeks. Just hang close to the bathroom.
Like they call it like the terrible twos, like the first 2 years. What should we call that? First 2 weeks of carnivore.
The terrible poos. Oh, terrible poos. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that works. I'm not looking forward to those, but I'm looking forward to getting back into it. I actually did. On my Instagram, I was gonna do a monthly thing for a while there. I did one post about it, and it was 1 year exactly after I did my before and after post.
Yeah.
From when I was a little bit chunky, to when I was at like roughly 5 to 6% body fat, and then a month later I did like a monthly update, and I was going to keep doing that, and then this nonsense started, and I wasn't able to afford the diet, and all that stuff happened, and so I want to get back to doing that monthly post. So it's been a few months. So I want to take some photos of going from carnivore to just a normal healthy diet back to carnivore and show the difference, because it's not like I'm eating bad. I'm eating perfectly healthy, and it's the way that I was eating before. It's just is such a stark difference to me. Normal healthy food versus just meat. It shouldn't be healthy. It shouldn't work, but it does. Like I got all my bloods done and everything as well, and I'm perfectly healthy doing the carnivore. I'm so confused by how it works.
What we'll do is we'll get your skin folds again now before you restart. So then we'll have them at your leanest, we'll have them off, and then we'll have it before you start, and then we'll get them again like a month or so into carnivore.
Yeah, that'd be good.
We'll just track it all.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that. I can't wait to get back into it.
Nice.
I miss it.
Yeah. Look, it was good. Like like I said, I didn't mind it too much.
You only did it for the month, though,
I did it for 1 month, and I guess I missed variety a little bit, like just in terms of you had to be more proactive in your preparation of food. So if you're not on the carnivore diet and you haven't got your food prepped, you can just go and grab a snack. But like if you've not cooked a steak, it like takes time to cook a steak.
There's nowhere that you can go to just get carnivore stuff either. It's really frustrating. You can't just like go to a drive-through and get a meat. They don't have that. There's meals and things put together, and that was really frustrating. So I had to be meticulous with my food and bring stuff and prep. But I'm like a robot when I eat. I can eat the same exact thing every meal, every day, forever. I'm lucky like that. I know a lot of people get really sick of eating the same thing, and that's the biggest downfall with their diets and things like that, is that it's just monotonous. And I can eat the same exact thing every day. It's easy. I like it.
I don't mind repetitive. Yeah, it's all good. That's all good. I'll have to make you my steak fillet sometime. It's just butter and steak with some seasoning. It's pretty good.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's all you need. Well, if I was getting really nice quality Scotch fillets actually, and you don't need much. Just a thick, chunky Scotch fillet steak, and that's it. A little bit of salt. It's nice.
Nice.
Yeah,
it is nice. Well, you're going to be going back on the carnivore diet. I'm just eating normally at the moment. Weight's coming down 5 kilos in 4 weeks from all this running.
I was going to say. So for the people who don't watch the running, what's it called again? Sorry,
running a marathon
series. Yeah. So where are you at now? You've lost 5 kilos. How many Ks have you run this week, or will you be running?
Yeah.
How much is it up to?
Yeah. So I had my first 3 weeks getting longer each week.
Yeah.
Week 3, the long run was a 14K run, which was the longest I'd ever run.
Yeah.
And that was right before our last recording session.
Okay.
Yep. And then last week was a deload week, so it was pretty light. It was like a 5 and 8 kilometers.
And what are you doing this week?
This week is starting to build again. So this week I have a 2 6-kilometer runs and an 18K run. So again, one pretty long run, which I'm going to do either on Thursday or Saturday. I haven't decided just yet. This afternoon, because all my trains in the evening now.
Yeah.
Dr. Ian Dunnigan said, get it all in the same time. It's going to be 6K later today. So that'll be interesting. Get the 18Ks down this week. But yeah, the running's going well, and just the extra workload, dropping weight, even though I'm eating reasonable amounts. So yeah, down from 103 to 98, and I got 8 weeks to go, and the goal is to be around that 90 kilo mark for the big run.
Kilo a week.
I mean, well, it's been over that so far. Yeah. So, and to be fair, I'm still hitting my gym sessions. They are struggling a little bit, but I'm getting through them all. It's just. And I'm getting the weights that I want to get. It's just they're not feeling easy.
Yeah, see, this is what I thought would happen. It'd be all good in the beginning, but then as the running volume goes up, just the stress and strain on your body, your central nervous system isn't recovering as much either for like your general strength training. So, like I was saying, I'm interested to see how the running affects the weight training, but how the weight training affects the running, because the weight training is only going to improve for the conditioning, strength conditioning for the running, but that's a lot of volume. It's a lot of volume.
Running, 18Ks. I mean, I can't. It's not quite, computing in my head, because like before all this, the furthest I'd ever run was 12Ks or 10Ks, and it was so long ago. But look, actually, every run that I'm doing is getting easier. So no complaints on this end. Yeah.
I'm still interested just to see how the weight training actually goes, because this is what the first week you were so gung ho about it. You're so cocky. Running is easy, and then this is the first time that you've been like, it's the hardest sessions this week, so I'm just gonna wait. Play the long patient game.
The running has been
yeah. But you were saying you want to run a marathon and have your lifts at a reasonable.
Oh, look, it's gonna happen. I'm a very determined person. It's gonna happen. It's just we'll see what they are. But yeah, no, I'm holding to it. I'm not compromising on the strength training just yet.
You're going to be squatting with willpower as fuel, and that's it.
Yeah,
in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, actually, I went and had a catch up with Gavin and Claire, and from here. And because you're allowed to have social interaction, we kept our social distancing.
Yeah.
But there was 4 of us in the backyard, because they had their little baby. Eleanor,
oh, they did.
Yeah.
Awesome.
About 3 or 4 weeks ago now.
Oh, congratulations! If you're watching, you should be watching. But
congratulations! Adorable little baby girl. And so I went over there, and Gavin's a huge fan of the ammonia smelling salts when he lifts.
Yeah.
And 90% of all the smelling salts in this gym come from Gavin.
Oh, really?
He's just like, oh, got you a present. And all of a sudden, like a new bottle of ammonia appears.
Awesome.
And so he got me an Australian version, like a eucalyptus flavor, I think, or scent, you know. So I said I'll save it until he gets back in the gym, and we'll christen the eucalyptus nose talk at the same time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, it's good to see that there's a lot of your clients still. I saw when everything closed down, you gave away a lot of the stuff in your gym and deconstructed a lot of the gym to give it to the clients and things like that, and seeing them post that they're still training and keeping in it on Instagram is it's good.
Yeah.
Keeps me whole knowing that there's people out there still pushing it.
Like I said, people worked really hard when they come here, and that's the difference between this gym and a lot of your 24-hour membership gyms. Is that I've got no interest in people coming here paying a weekly fee and not rocking up. I'm invested in all of my members, and they're invested in themselves, and so when they come here, it is a little community, and everyone works hard. And I didn't want them to lose all those gains that they had made. So, like I said, I've deconstructed, I've dismantled a lot of equipment, sent it home with them, and they are, a lot of them are training, which is great.
It's not what separates you from other gyms. It's what separates you from other just people. Like how many people do you know with businesses are like, nah, I'll just take this out. You just literally gave away half your gym to most of your clients.
Yeah,
in like the first week. I don't know any other gyms that have done that.
I think that there's a couple of gyms around, which is good. And they should as well. I think
Yeah. It's a good idea. It's a good idea. He's got quite a good setup there actually.
Yes.
Showing some of his videos. It's a really good setup.
Of Gavin's?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got one of the fixed bench presses, which is an IPF, an International Powerlifting Federation spec'd bench press. So it's a good sized bench, and the full squat cage and a deadlifting platform, all in like his kitchen/dining area.
It's like in his house.
So I think his wife's like in the kitchen making sandwiches for like her son, and he's like squatting
out
2 meters away, benching with his bench shirt on.
Yeah,
it's great.
That's awesome.
Very cool to see.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. There's been lots of innovations. There's been lots of changes and innovations in the fitness industry because of all of this. Like people need to, it's so important now more than ever to train and stay fit and healthy and sane. Like train to keep your brain from falling out of your nose. Because I know a lot of people like me are just doing nothing. So training's been really important. I don't know how I would survive if I didn't have anywhere to train. If I didn't have the equipment and stuff that you gave me and the stuff I already had at home, I'd be going out of my mind.
I think a lot of people are. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're saying something that people aren't taking into consideration yet is not only the people that are getting sick from coronavirus, but it's the mental health impact on a lot of people that are forced to stay at home, or that are afraid to go out, or that have lost their jobs, or that can't train, or people that have maybe pre-existing mental illness that they have to get out and do things that they've not been allowed to, or do it at the same extent at least. Which is an issue.
It's a really big deal. It's a really big deal. And it's not really touched on much. When I was at uni, actually, they started to touch on it. There was some mindfulness units, and they were talking about using health and fitness in particular to deal with mental health issues, to like keep you at a stable level, because it's well known to be able to help with things like sleeping patterns and regulating hormones and all of that sort of stuff. And when people don't do that, when they go from exercising, socializing, having a full and fulfilling lifestyle to just doing nothing at home, it's that trap where you're doing nothing, so you want to do nothing, so you stop everything, and then just everything goes to turns to chaos.
Yeah, and I think
messes
it was
with your head.
Yeah, in the Running a Marathon episode 2 with Justin Barrett, who's one of the top sports physios.
Yeah.
And he was throwing out some stats as well. I think he said something along the lines of a half-hour run, the endorphins that you get from that exercise has been shown to be as good or better than 99% of all cases where people are taking antidepressants. It's exercise is so important for your brain and for your mind and body.
Valuable above other treatments, I guess you could say. There's something that they said it a million times. Like if fitness could be put into a pill, it'd be the most widely sold thing on the planet. Just because the general, what is the World Health Organization's guidelines for physical exercise, something like that, and that's like these guidelines are the ones that they're talking about. It's like 150 minutes a week, like some really basic exercise, right? Really basic stuff. And they're saying that if people did that, then it reduces the risk of so many like heart, liver, kidney problems. There's risk of cancer, risk of obesity, risk of almost every known illness that you could find. It like reduces the risk of everything by a huge margin. It's so incredibly important to exercise, and it's not even like I think people, when they think exercise, they think all this crazy stuff that they see on TV and these programs and these impossible versions of themselves that have to look like. It's just general health and fitness to keep your body and your mind together. You don't have to look like a model. You just need to train to be healthy. It's nothing to do with looks. It's more just to be and feel healthy more than anything else. And I think a lot of people they're getting really disheartened by all this because they're not going out and being social, and there's what's the point if I'm not going to see this person or do this thing. It's one of those things you need to do every day, is just general maintenance for your own self. It's harder now that everyone's stuck at home, but it's so much more important now, because you can't go out and do those fun things and talk to your friends and do the things that you usually do to blow off steam. Now you need to find new and creative ways to use that nervous energy, and I think a lot of people are feeling this in those sorts of ways, because they don't have gyms. They don't have, I have a sweet setup at home. A lot of people don't have anything, which kind of sucks. Like you said, everything was sold out. And I know a lot of people who wanted a lot of gear, and this is just gone. It was a nightmare to try and get some bands for home, just rubber bands.
Resistance bands.
Basic stuff that's in abundance everywhere. It's just everything's gone, which kind of sucks. So yeah, it's important now more than ever to stay fit.
Yeah.
As fit as you can. I think a lot of people are struggling real hard with that, which is kind of a big old shame. That's exciting though, because when the gyms open up, everyone's going to come back all at once. It's going to be
a busy few weeks getting everything sorted.
Rush, yeah.
Which is good. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. I'm sure it's going to happen soon, because we're trending very positively here, as we mentioned before. Talking about moving forward and self-improvement and all these good things, you were thinking about going back to uni.
Yeah, we were talking about this last week a little bit, and the week before, 2 weeks ago. And I was talking about it with Sarah a little before that, and then we spoke about some of the potential things that I could go back to uni for. I was thinking originally nutrition, and then we talked about doing exercise physiology. And so I'm not sure if I'll do one or both of those things. But yeah, I'm looking at going back to uni either mid-semester this year to pick up some electives that I didn't do for the units that I want to do. For the ex-phys course, and then seeing if I can just do one straight year, if I have to do a year and a half or something. But yeah, going back to uni, which will be kind of exciting.
Yeah. Well, I guess what we talked about was the different pathways. So, I mean, you have your exercise and sports science degree from uni, same as me. I ended up going back and doing the master's in strength and conditioning. Mm-hmm. And I guess the reason for that is the different pathways that you can do. So, when people say, oh, what can you do with a sports science degree? Well, you could probably do if you did a teaching course, you could be like a PE teacher, health teacher. You could get a job with a sports club, but the reality is they're probably not going to hire you unless you have a professional club, unless you have a master's or more.
There are a few things that you can do with the sports science degree, with just the sports science degree. You can do analytics, and you can go on as taper, sports massage, that sort of thing. No, wait, not sports massage. I don't think you can do that.
Not sports massage. You
taping,
can do sports trainer.
Sports trainer, yeah, that's right. And you can do taping and that sort of stuff as well, sitting on the sidelines, just assisting and helping out. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of analytics and stuff that you can do. So all the stats that are pulled up on games, there's someone pressing buttons on a keyboard for that. So be respectful of those people, because you can do that sort of thing as well. Yeah. And there is a few other bits and pieces, but it's relatively limited with just the sports science degree. Technically, if you had a sports science degree, you could go and work with a professional outfit, but they're probably looking for people that have masters or PhDs and honors and this sort of thing. So I was like, all right, well, what are you interested in? And Adrian's talking, well, I'm interested in nutrition. They said, well, if you're looking at... trying to figure out how carnivore works.
Trying to figure out how carnivore works. If you're interested in if you want to better yourself and increase your earning capacity and increase your range of knowledge, nutrition's fantastic for what you're doing, because you can not only utilize that in your in the gym and with your own clients, you could have a whole separate nutrition gig if you wanted to. Also, sports exercise physiology would be really good, because they are able to work with healthcare providers. So then you're able to work with people that are trying to return to work, recover from injury, get back to playing sport, which is pretty cool as well. And again, increasing your scope of practice, and your worth to any organization that has you working in them, or exactly. You could start your own.
Yeah, I think I find the nutrition most interesting, because I thought I knew things about it, and it turns out that I don't at all. Although just as it's easier to share information now, you're seeing a lot more stuff about nutrition from a lot of different places in the world, and I'd like to try. Personally, I like to try these diets and these fads and these things as they come on, just to see how you feel, see how it works, all that sort of stuff. And I thought that I knew a bit, and it turns out I don't. I just don't know anything anymore. So I want to do a little more learning there. But I think XFIZ is a good way to go, because then that's the most applicable to this gym as well. And opening up like a new sort of business within the business is pretty interesting to me.
Yeah.
That's something that's going to be fun to just learn some new stuff. I haven't learned some new stuff in a little while. So I'm excited about that. But we came to that conversation. You were saying that you wanted to go back to uni as well, and you were going to do some further study too. Are you still going to be looking into that?
There's a few things that I'm interested in. And I guess it all just depends on sort of time availability, when the gym can open, all these sort of things. But yeah, like I've already got the bachelor's, I've got the master's in strength and conditioning, and I went back for my MBA, so I've got sort of a couple of degrees under the belt. So why would I go back to uni? And there'd be two reasons. One would be to do something like exercise physiology, where it is broadening the scope of what I can do in my gym.
Mm-hmm.
All right, which is a good business decision, one, but also because I'm learning more. There's never anything negative about educating yourself.
Exactly.
Right. So that is that was one option, and the other option was to look at maybe trying to go back to do a PhD or a thesis in something sports science related. So again, I need to reach out to a few people that I have actually already touched base with, but I want to touch base with them again more thoroughly and actually find out the process a bit more about what that involves and entails. But
that would be interesting.
It could be interesting.
I would be, Mills et al. Referencing you in papers. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? To see your name referenced.
It would be interesting, to be a published author. I mean, technically, you don't have to do a PhD to be published. That was the third thing that I was thinking about doing, which is one of the associations that I'm with is the ASCA, or the Australian Strength and Conditioning Association.
Yeah.
And there's different levels of coaches there, and I've been cruising on my level 1. To get to level 2, there's more coursework and books that you have to do. Goes into the strength and conditioning aspects a bit more, even more deeply. But part of it is you have to write an article that could get published, basically. So So you have to write an article, they critique it, make sure it's all up to par, and you submit it, and then it may or may not get approved for published. But that's part of it, and so that was something that I'd be interested in doing as well. But I know that is again quite time consuming. So
what is the difference between the level 1 and level 2?
Again, it's just going into more depth of coursework, and so just like said, most organizations wouldn't take you just with a bachelor's, like for a professional outfit. I know that, and I'm just throwing it out here, but like if you wanted to work at let's say the Australian Institute of Sport, they would probably require you to be like maybe a level 2 coach or above. There's different like categories. So
then what would you want to use if you were to go level 2? What would you want to use that for?
So the level 2 would be more just a self-improvement thing.
Cool.
Yeah. Like I'm not planning on flying over to Canberra and applying for a job at the AIS or anything like that.
Yeah.
It would be more so just to get into more detail about things that I am interested in. But it wouldn't have as big an impact on this business.
Well, that versus doing a PhD, do you mean?
Like that versus like exercise physiology, which could get used immediately within this business.
I see.
Yeah.
Cool.
But you never know. There's always nutrition, because nutrition is super interesting.
It is. I think I want to do both. I think I might do both. I've been thinking about it more and more as well. And I think I'm just going to do that until I'm satisfied with study.
Or
until I get sick of it again.
The Strength Institute supports your decisions to better yourself, and we will be here and create a constructive learning environment for you.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's really exciting, actually. I've never felt like more of a nerd in my life, but that's just really exciting. I'm excited for all of the new stuff that's coming up. It's a bit weird how this coronavirus has affected everyone, I think, because there's been obviously a lot of negatives, but then it's changing everything. Like the world is changing quite a bit, and I wouldn't have thought of going back to uni before because of how things were going, and everything's changed so much. It's good to kind of shake up the system every now and again, and then just rethink how you're going to move forward. And so I like that.
I mean, look, shaking up the system is good. Being forced to close and everyone staying at home, not so good. But you got to find your silver linings.
Exactly, silver linings, exactly. So it's been good to just like reevaluate everything and try and figure out how everything's got to work again and changing things. And I wouldn't have considered going back to uni with how the gym was going. Everything was going amazingly. And there just wasn't any time for it because of how well everything was going, and I was getting really busy, and the gym was going great. And now that everything's kind of slowed down a bit, it's given me the opportunity to actually go back, which is think about what and why, and yeah, it's exciting. I like it.
If we both did X-Phys, we could be study buddies. Oh my God.
I mean, I don't think I want to spend that much time with you.
Mate, what are you talking about?
That would actually wouldn't be too bad. We could set this podcast area up as a study area.
Study room / podcast zone.
Yeah, lots of new stuff to come. Surprisingly, a lot of new stuff to come when the gym finally opens up again.
It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, just a matter of time.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to touch on today?
I don't think so. I think that was pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we covered a fair bit of ground.
We did.
We're going to get out there now and film a couple more workouts. I mean, we've been... and this thing as well. So we've been filming... We started off filming a lot of workouts. And some of you have been following along, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
We're going to start putting more emphasis on the individual exercises for like the tutorials playlist.
Yeah.
We really want to pad that up, like pump that up a lot and just get a bunch of the exercises that we regularly use on there so that people can, see and refresh themselves.
We have talked about that in the past, working up our catalog.
Yeah, I think we're up to 2 now, but I'm going to start uploading sort of 1 to 2 a week.
Yep.
1 workout a week, 1 to 2 tutorials a week, 1 to 2 podcasts. There's still a lot of content coming out here.
Yeah.
But a nice variety at least. And then we're also going to start doing some more fun videos too.
Yeah.
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 So as soon as this marathon is done and I'm not worried about injuring myself, you're going to teach me how to do backflips.
Yeah, that was going to be one. We were going to do a few different ones where we're going to do a series of Nev trying to do all the mobility stuff that I do, and I was going to do some of the just insane strength and strongman stuff that Nev does. And Nev has been asking me to teach me how to do a backflip for a few years now.
Yes, many years.
For a few years. So maybe we'll actually get a series going.
As soon as I run the marathon,
and
I'm not worried about spraining my ankle, I'll just do a backflip.
You just do a backflip.
I feel like it can't be that hard.
It's actually.
Am I doing this thing again?
It's actually not
that bad. Yeah,
it's not that hard.
Yeah,
it's
okay.
Surprisingly easy.
Well, we're gonna figure it out.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. So there's lots of stuff to come. So make sure you like and subscribe. So
do it right now.
See all the videos that we're gonna be posting, because there's gonna be lots of little short, informative tutorials which are gonna be handy, quick and easy to watch, that you can apply to all of your training. And then the workouts. Let us know if you like the workouts. Let us know if there's something you want or things you don't like, or if you don't like seeing me that often, or Nev, or
or if you enjoy seeing Adrian with his shirt off like he was in the Hangs video.
Yeah, I got some good feedback about that. It makes me feel good. But yeah, like same thing. If you want Nev to take his shirt off, let us know in the comments. Just let us know what you feel like, and we'll start to cater to that, because we did get some really good feedback for some of our videos, and we made some changes according to that. And so yeah, just give us some more. Let us know.
Fill us in.
Yeah.
Awesome. Guys, thanks very much for watching. Please do subscribe, like, share, comment, and we'll see you soon. You've been great, everyone. All right. Thank you. And we'll be back
next time on the Big Flex.
On Big Flex.
Thanks for watching, guys. See you later.